this is how this whole journey has been evolving, and I really don't know where this journey is going to take me. I really don't know where I'm heading. I just know that I love having conversations, and for that reason what I want you to do is warm up your hands once again, take them apart and put them together for Gungor.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Let me find my position and safe. Now I can talk. How are you?
I'm asking the question.
But let me just ask.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you so much for saying yes and being here with
Thank
us
you.
today this evening.
Yeah, I ditched you once, but
Yeah.
that wasn't the right day.
No, it is not. Who's it?
Yeah, when you asked, I was like, yeah, that's such a difficult question, right? We always identify ourselves with everything, but I think I'm also identified by my work. I'm basically Turkish. I was born in Germany, but raised in Istanbul. Universe put me to Dubai. I've never lived in here before Life in One, and I basically opened a well-being center and a cafe 4 years ago with no business plan, no employees, with a moment of ignorance and too much passion, like extraordinary passion, and I didn't die. They said, "Oh, you're gonna make the 3 years, and then it's gonna be fine." And then I was counting days, and and we survived. Yeah. So I think I'm kind of sometimes people call me like a well-being activist, and I call myself spiritualist or spiritual entrepreneur, because I think the reason I keep going in all the madness of the world is my spiritual practice. Yeah.
Before you said you're Turkish, I didn't even know you're Turkish.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no clue where you're from also.
Where do you think I was from?
I didn't think. I don't think. I just let it be. I'm very not judgmental that way.
Yeah,
I just accept that, wherever you are from,
I'm
whatever
Turkish.
it is. Yeah, okay. But I thought you were maybe Spanish, but I didn't think.
Yeah, I heard that a lot.
A lot, huh? Yes. Spanish is what I was guessing. It's the hair.
Yeah.
So, were you always spiritual?
Now when I look back, I think I always had something, but we didn't know what to call these years ago.
So can you tell us a little bit about your childhood and your growing up days?
Yeah, of course. I was born in Germany because my parents, one of them studied in Belgium, the other one in Germany, and they stayed there. But they didn't want to stay, so I just was born there, and then
but
we
they were
moved
both
back
Turkish.
Yeah, they're Turkish. We moved back to Istanbul. And in Turkey, you need to study in a good school. You have to have a good title, to have a job, to live in the place that you want. So it was all about education, private teachers and exams, and it was a little bit like that. And I was the worst student of the whole schools I attended. I went to good schools because I knew that I have to have the title, but I was sure that no one is going to ask for the GPA. So I was like, okay, I'll write the name, but I'm like dying in the school. And then, so in university, at some point I said, I have to do something else.
What did you do in university?
I studied international relations and politics.
Okay, very interesting.
And yeah, I mean, it was a lot of blah, blah, blah that helped me to pass the exams, because basically books were thick and I didn't like the topics. And
so why did you choose it?
You don't choose in Turkey. You have a university entrance exam. Yeah, they choose for you.
Oh, really?
There's a university entrance exam, and when you get your grade point, they give you the list, and you have to choose like 10 schools, and then you'll see who went into which one.
It's the same in China, I think, right? In China also, I think it is the same
So
way.
I just chose the school. I said, okay, I have to go to this school. And then I just wrote. And then there was no way for me to be accepted to that school also, because there is also some grade coming from the high school, and I'm the last in the list of high school. Like people are getting 40, I'm getting 18. And my friends were like giving me, like talks saying, maybe you should also write one more school, because if you can't get any of them, you have to enter the exam the next year again. So they were worried. And I'm like, no, I have to go to this school, and I can't write anything else. And I don't know what happened. That day I turned the computer on. It was an online system. And I saw my name, and I fell down from the chair. And my parents ran thinking that I fell down the chair because I'm not accepted to any school. And I was like, oh, I got into the school. And then, so it started like that, and I made a lot of friends. It was so much fun. But it took me 6 years to finish, 4 years school, yeah. And after the second year, I went to my parents and I said, I'm cooking all day in dormitory. And everyone comes and likes my food. Maybe I should go to a cooking school or a chef school. And then, yeah, they told me, like, look, we are Turkish. You have to have this diploma. And then afterwards, you can go anywhere. But you have to finish this. So that was our deal. I'm like, OK, I'm going to finish this. I don't want masters. I want to go to a chef school. OK. And then that day came one day, and then I went to a chef school in France after university. And then I basically ruined my immune system by butter, cream, sugar, and wine. Starting tasting, comparing at 10 a.m. all day for after 1 year. Like I went like, I don't know, 60 kilos, and I came back like 76, and like allergies and everything. What happened? I'm cooking amazing, but I'm gonna die soon. And then, yeah. So I came back, and then people were looking at me like, what happened to you? I cook amazing, but don't look at me. And then I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, look, there's nothing wrong with you. You should just change what you're eating. And I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe I should eat butter again. True. And then, and I think my body came to a limit that time. So I was like, I don't want to see cheese. I don't want to see bread. I can't do this anymore. Give me just vegetables. Like I organically started to quit eating some stuff just to feel better, because I wasn't feeling good anymore. And there was a lot of allergies in my body. So when I stopped dairy, the allergies left. When I stopped gluten, my sleep changed. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm doing better. And then I started a catering company from home.
Where?
And in Istanbul. And then it was going well for a small, catering company. But then the 2008-9 crisis happened. The first thing that people cut is the luxury things, because I was doing like a coffee breaks and baby showers and things like that. And then I was unemployed. And then unemployment teaches a lot. Because especially in a society and an entourage like mine, that everyone is like, hi, I'm blah, 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 and this is my title. You're like, hi, I'm Eda, and I'm basically unemployed. And then you learn from their faces and what they say. And then it brings out all your fears and all the hidden self. And then you learn to deal with it. Then during this time, I started to go to courses. I was still not calling myself spiritual or anything, to understand, why is this happening? Why am I feeling like that? Maybe I should do a little bit meditation. Maybe I should do a little bit yoga. I met meditation and yoga very early, but I was so not disciplined. I was learning them for a month, feeling amazing. And then next month, I was like, oh, okay, I'm feeling good. So I'll pick this up, like a medicine, when I need it again. So everything was basically coming back to you, because when you start this journey, now I know, when you pick up something, you take it with you. Like it finds you. Hey, I'm here, and you'll need me, because I'm a tool. Like there's gonna be days and moments I'm gonna remind myself to you. But I didn't know. So it took me a lot of years to use the tools that I have. My brother, I have an older brother. He's 13 years older than me, so he was like a young father. And he had one interesting friend. They were calling him interesting. Now I'm calling him the wisest one.
Did it annoy you when you were growing up? Did it annoy you that you...
No, it was amazing, but you're just not ever invited because you're just so young. Eda, come on, we can't take you there. Like, take me. No, Eda, we'll tell you when we come back. Yeah, and you make a cake and a tea all the time to a bunch of guys, So yeah, so my cooking started because of that, maybe, because and there were a lot of hungry guys at home in the house waiting for you to make a coffee, tea, and something. Anyways, one of his friends one day took me and he said, look, I learned some astrology, I'll check your chart. And I'm looking to him face, I'm like, okay, what is that? I'll just tell you what you need to do, because you're young, we can build it from here onwards. I'm like, okay. And then he said, that's nice. That's my hidden self, talking through a phone. And then he told me you should start yoga and meditation regularly every day. And I'm like, okay, but
who was it? Who's
my
it?
brother's friend, this
Okay.
interesting one. And I'm like, but I'm not sure every day, like every day? Now I understand my customers. They say the same thing. Every day? I'm like, every day. So I said the same thing. And then he said, look, your chart tells it. You have to just do yoga meditation every day and the rest is gonna be fine. But you have to source that energy. And I'm like, which energy? Like I have so much energy. I only sleep 4 or 5 hours. I was thinking that is such a good thing, you know? I'm so productive all day. I didn't know that I'm hyperactive, basically. And then, so he took me to transcendental meditation as a gift. And I learned 4 months bliss. 4 months later, you start going out with your friends again. You're 20, 21. And then he took me to this yoga camp, Tibetan yoga. These monks come to Turkey, and by that time there is no yoga studio in Turkey, by the way, when these are happening. They're finding places. I'm like, thank you very much. And I'm going learning. I felt blissful. I come back and I have no friends. They are thinking that I'm just crazy, lunatic. The guy I like thinks that I think you should stop seeing this brother's friend, and like everything is stopping.
What are your parents saying?
Huh?
What were your parents saying?
My parents like, well, however you feel fine, do it, but do something. Like, if you are going to this course, at least bring it to your life and adapt something. And then I think parents love their kids. They never told me that I'm just so lazy and never determined and I think either they saw something which is gonna come up later, or they said we made something wrong and it's too late, And and for a while my father said, by the way, but it's okay. He changed his idea now.
What did he say?
He said, he told me, he's like, Eda, I can't believe, like, you're so funny, but when I think about you're my daughter, like, you're just not doing anything that I wanted. And I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not the order that you ordered, from the universe, but this is what came, like a Pandora's box, you never know. And then, so yeah, I learned all of these in years, and I just didn't do anything. And then one day I got unemployed again. I found different jobs. I write to some magazines because of this chef school's diploma. Basically, I worked for Time Out, food and drinks and everything, but it just never satisfied me. I was never happy. And even with the food and drink editors, like, I was like, there should be more to this.
And food is big in Istanbul, right?
Yes,
it's
but
a huge
for me,
part of
going to work every day just made me a little bit crazy. I was every day going to work, and I was thinking that...
What was work?
I'm such like different places, like it were magazines.
Okay.
For them, Experience Gift company, which was a German company, opened in Turkey.
Nothing to do with cooking?
No, all around food, like Experience Gift, I'm finding like restaurants and experiences for people to gift each other. Or I worked for a VIP travel agency. I was creating gourmet food tours to walk around Istanbul. One of them was Sarah Jessica Parker, who made my tour.
Oh,
but
nice.
she doesn't know that I went, but it's okay. And then, but I was like, I'm going to the office, wherever I'm working, I'm like, okay, so for the rest of my life, I'm gonna come this time. I'm gonna work here, and then till when? Like when is retirement? Like I was always thinking like this every day, okay. And then the next time, this every day, okay. Like I was like, it can't be. This can't be it. I mean, and I am a hardworking person. Then I realized in years. Then I'm like, and I'm working for someone else. Like I'm always working for someone else. Like I got this little salary, and in Turkey the salaries are, oh my God. And I'm like, okay, I can't even pay rent or pay my car's insurance, and I'm gonna do this like forever? And I was calculating if they give me, if this much, bonus, and then can I just go buy myself something without my parents' support? No, no, no. And then one of these days, I think my boss felt it. I got unemployed again. And then that time, also, then I learned that energetically I stopped it, but no one called me. And I had a good CV. And I'm sending the CV all over the country. No one is like, no one. And I started to question myself, like, what's going on? Like, so now what? Now what? And people are like, maybe you don't like the jobs. Do they call you and do you say something to these people on the phone? I'm like, no, you don't understand. They don't, like, my phone doesn't ring. And then I started to check my phone number in the CV. Okay, not wrong. The email. And I spent good 8 months like that, where there was no penny in the pocket and, living with parents. And I'm like, there should be more, like, it can't be this. And then one of these days, in Turkey, we read coffee cups. Basically, you're drinking Turkish coffee, you turn it, and you basically lie to each other. If the other person is intuitive, you're lucky. If not, oh my God. And if you believe, you're just going to be waiting for things which is never going to happen. So I'm sitting in my friend's balcony, and an aunt came that I've never seen before, and I've never seen after. I still tell her that I think that aunt was sent from God because no one see her again. And aunt comes, and then she looks at me. I'll read your coffee cup. And I'm like completely desperate. I'm like, yes, please do. And then she opens my coffee cup. It's completely black. I mean, you don't need any intuition. You understand, like, it's just, I'm depressed for sure. And then she goes, look, I have to tell you something. I'm like, okay. There is this church. I'm Muslim. But it's okay. I love everything. But it's just funny. We are in Istanbul, in a Muslim country, reading coffee cup, and she goes, there is this church. Okay, you have to go there 3 Saturdays, make the same wish, and it's going to happen. And I'm like, okay, what is my wish? Because I'm like, I'm lost completely. No, you're going to move to another country. You're going to have your own business. Make this wish wisely. That Saturday, I go to the church. And there was this amazing ceremony going on, by the way. I still go. It's been 5-6 years, I still go. When I'm in Istanbul, of course. And I watched the ceremony. I'm like, okay, amazing, feels amazing. People are amazing. And then there's this upstairs place in the church, and everyone makes a line. Apparently, those people are going there every 3 Saturdays to make the wish queue. they talk to the priest one by one. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to the wish queue. I'm waiting. And then I started to think, like, what's my wish? Like, what's my wish? What am I wishing? Like, to get a job, but am I going to have the same life? Like, I'm not sure if I want a job, but what do I want? And then I started to think, like, in that queue, like, in the 12 people, no, I know I'm very, very smart. I know I'm very hardworking. And I know I can have my own business. I can have my own business. I don't know the topic, but I'm sure. I'm like, this just happened there. And when I came there, like, he looked at me, and I'm like, hi, what are you doing here? Like, because I'm like kind of the youngest also in that queue. People are like wishing grandsons and things like that. And I'm like, I think I want to move to another country. I don't think there is enough opportunity for me in Istanbul. And then he goes, where do you want to move? And I say, Dubai. I never been to Dubai by that time. And I don't know anything about Dubai. The only thing I was thinking that, I was like, okay, I have to speak English and I don't want to live in London, it's just too crowded. Dubai, that's close by. A lot of people goes there for business. I just said Dubai. And then he goes, okay, that's your wish? I'm like, yeah, that's my wish. I want to move to Dubai and open my business. And then he blesses me and he says, okay, just walk through that. There's this water, take the water, 3 mornings, 3 sips. And I believe in all of this. Oh, okay, I'm going to get the bottle. Can I get 1 bottle for my mother also? So I get bottles for all the family, putting in the buckets, and then go and also for everyone, light the candles. I like the lighting candle part. And I said, see you next Saturday. Next Saturday I went again, less people because it's summer. And then I said, we can have a chance to talk with the priest. I want to talk to the priest because I want to tell my problem to him. I believe that he's going to tell me everything. And then next Saturday, he's like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm not very sure. But I have so many certifications and everything. I know that when I find it, I'll do it well, but I just don't know. And then next Saturday, I go again. He blesses me. The third time, and he gives me this green thing. He says, this is from a monastery in Greece. And for 40 weeks, they pray to not these. And he says, look, I'll give you this because you're going to make it. And as long as you have this, nothing is going to happen to you. And then I'm like, okay. And then I just go there every Saturday, by the way, afterwards. And then somehow this Dubai grows in me. Then at first I start sending CVs, but I know that no one will take me with my CV because I don't want my CV to work. And then what happened, long story short, one day I said, what is the only thing that I don't give up on? Because I change my mind quite fast. Even the color I like, the food I like. I like adapting different things very fast, let's say. Then I said, personal growth. Because I'm like, it always comes back to me. I leave it. It doesn't leave me. Then I said, maybe let me check my certifications, what I did. And then when I realized that I basically attended everything and I am trained in everything and I'm just blind to see that, I just started to practice them again. I said, you have all the tools.
So you already started
You're just knowing yourself.
You started doing meditation by then regularly?
Yes. And then one morning I started. There's also a little bit of a love story part, of course. Someone left me and I cried a lot in between all of these. It always happens. One morning I said, okay, I'm just gonna do everything I know and we'll see how I'm gonna feel. I'm broke and unemployed, I have so much time. And these, I already got the trainings. Books are here, open and do it. I started to wake up at 5, 45 minutes hard opening meditation. I don't know what the meditation was, by the way. Like a little bit YouTube, a little bit what I feel, and only crying, by the way. And then 90 minutes yoga, and then calculating all the food through a book which says heal through herbs, and I chose the depression page, and reading, and I'm like, okay, I'm eating spinach and this and this. This is it. Like I have to get rid of this phase of my life. And then someone called me and they said, look, there is this lady. She does amazing Reiki. And before that, I was always resisting these things, saying, we can do everything ourselves. We don't need to go anywhere.
Why do you pick up the depression page?
I was convinced that I'm in depression because I'm just not happy. I can't find a job. I can't find anything to do. And I have to feel better, like my energy, like I'm not smiling, I'm not laughing, nothing satisfies me. I said it's in the book, it's depression.
So you ate the food which would take you out of depression?
Yes.
And it worked?
Yeah, it works. Then I also studied nutrition in time.
Okay.
It works, for sure. That's why my cafe is plant-based. I believe the plants heals everyone. So I started to eat the depression page and yoga meditation and just reading spiritual books. And then I went to this Reiki master, this Russian lady living in Istanbul. I went there like questioning someone is gonna give me energy and I'm gonna take it, let's see. And then 7 weeks, every week, and she just changed my life. We started talking from plants, like plants were changing home because I'm like, oh, that's this, like that, the colors, read this, do this. Like it was like a homework. 1 week of Eda studying and changing things and going back, having a session and talking, learning more. And then at the same time, another friend of mine called and she had a psychiatric clinic. Not to invite me, but she said, Eda, they call us and they are asking the difference between life coaching and therapy sessions. And we don't know how to explain on the phone. And because you have a background in writing, if we give you free sessions, would you write to our blog? I said, okay. I mean, we've started this once. Like, what can go wrong? Everything went wrong anyway. And then 8 weeks later, total 2 months, I was a completely different person. I cried a lot though during that time, but it was a beautiful cry. Like all the crying was making me feel like I'm literally releasing some resistance, something like I was crying, saying, oh wow, this was good. Like let me have shower and go out now, like for a walk. There. And then, and I was journaling a lot. And not that I know, because I didn't have anyone around me, because I was so different than everyone in my life during this time. Because of not having anyone, I started to write. I'm like, I need someone to talk. Everyone thinks I just went mental. So let me just write, hello, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that. And then in years I've learned that journaling is amazing. Apparently they also turn into, you know, all these words, and that's also another way of resistance release or releasing emotions. And then people started to ask me, what did you do? You're looking amazing. What did you eat? What is that? Can I buy it? You're juicing? Oh, who juices? Where did you buy your juice machine from? Can you sell me juice? Because I'm going to work. You know, I just can't juice now. So at some point I realized all night I'm juicing. In the morning when my friends are going to work, I'm selling the juices in bottles. I'm making cakes, and then just giving like slice by slice everyone. People are asking me which book to read. I'm like, look, I read this book. Now you read it. Then we come together, shared it. And then I said, oh, okay, this is it. Like, this is what I need to do. And it's going well. Like, people are asking, we're growing together. And then I said, okay, I just need one room or two rooms, I said, because I wanted to have also some like maybe dance classes to, you know, I believe that you need to also release everything from the body. So the energy shouldn't clash, as far as I believe. Meditation rooms shouldn't, you know, be mixed with, you know, jumping, trampoline, dancing rooms. So I said, maybe two rooms close to my parents. I can keep living with them, and we see, as long as I pay the rent, I'll be happy. If I can be happy, I can make people happy. That was the whole idea. Then I said, okay, everyone's coming and saying, okay, are you going to write a business plan? How do we write a business plan? What is business plan? I'm Googling, and it's so complicated for me, because all the paperwork in life is the most complicated thing for me. I'm only doing them at the moment because I had to learn.
This is by 2010, 2011.
This is 2000. I'm 30 years old when this is happening, which means 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that year, I went to London for a wedding. And then I attended a bar class. I didn't know what bar is by that time. It's a mixture of ballet, Pilates, a little bit of yoga, none of the spiritual aspects, but good for, you know, your body. And it was so much fun. And I realized all women are going crazy for it, and it's not in Istanbul. And I said, if I bring something like that, because I was observing all the women in my life, and you know, unfortunately, all the women around me by that time was first trying to lose weight. And then they lose weight and they're trying to fix everything according to a picture in, say, social media, never to their own anatomy. And then they become thin and amazingly well dressed and blah, blah, but they're still unhappy. And then the spiritual growth either starts or they completely leave it and become angry. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should do something like this to attract these women. And then they come and I brainwash them. and then I said, okay, to brainwash, I have to learn this because no one is doing it in Turkey. So I found two teachers, I emailed them. One of them wasn't again in London, the other one is in LA. Let me make myself a little bit more comfortable. Okay. And then the one in London, it was easy access from Istanbul. I went and it was a 3-day training, and I already had anatomy, Pilates and yoga, Pilates and anatomy training before. And so it was 3 days for me. Fun, okay, thank you. And then the other one is a little bit different. The one in LA, I told her, I said, look, it's ridiculous. I can't fly to LA. Plus, like, I'm literally living on a budget. By the way, my uncle gave me money to start business, to saying, by the way, the money he gave, like, just to cover these courses. He's like, you have to learn how to cover these courses and put something on the table. So this is how it's happening, because I already told you that I was broke. I don't want you to confuse yourself. and then I had this notebook that I'm writing down. My uncle gave me this much money one day, you will pay back. And then this lady said, I'm coming to Dubai. I think Dubai is close to Istanbul. Can you fly there? I said, okay. I'll check, okay, and there's a cheap flight, okay, and then I'm checking, of course, the accommodation in Dubai is I mean, it's impossible for me to pay any accommodation here. By that time, I don't know much about Airbnb or anything, and I'm just like, is there a place that I can put a tent or something? I mean, I'll go to the course, but I don't have a place to sleep. Then in my Facebook, I realized that I still have a friend who lives in Dubai already. Thank God for Facebook for that. And I message him and I'm like, look, Ibrahim, yes, I'm coming to Dubai for this training. Oh my God, it's so expensive. You have to tell me where these people, I mean, everyone is rich, like this is it. Like where do these people stay? And then he goes, look, at the same date I'm flying to Istanbul for a meeting. Come stay at my place, I'll leave you the key. You know, by all means, thank you. I'm like, wow, okay. So I fly in, go to the course. Course is amazing. And then I'm walking on the street here. I bump into a friend, random friend, that she was supposed to live in London. Apparently they moved to Dubai. And she goes, oh, would you like to stay with me a little bit? We also just moved now. You know, I'm getting used to it. And then we can extend your ticket. I missed you, it's been so long. When am I gonna see you again? I'm like, okay. Wow. I extend my ticket, take my bags, thank Ibrahim, go to the Palm. I'm like, wow, Palm is nice, huh? For a broke person, so nice. And then, you know, they have their everything in front of their house. I'm like, oh, you got it. You know, and then one week I stay there. Another day, they're taking me to downtown. I'm walking again, and again, I bump to another friend who is supposed to be in London again. By the way, I never fully lived in London. I just don't know, like my life happens a little bit like that. And then she's like, oh, I just moved in with my boyfriend. And would you help me a little bit? And then I'm like, yeah, I can help. And then we extend my ticket. I thank my friend in the Palm. I go to downtown to another flat and I stay there a little bit. Again, the new building. Oh, wow, nice, very nice place. And then, of course, I hear the rants. I'm like, these people are maniacs. Oh my God. And then it's the 24th day that I'm in the city, and the course was 3 days.
Okay.
And then my parents can't believe how I survive. I'm like, well, I'm staying in places, everything is free. Like these people have their own beaches, own pools, and own blah blahs. And of course they have food on the table and we are chatting basically. We are girls. I mean, it's been years we didn't see each other. We have like 7 years of gossip basically. And then one day the first friend says, okay, I'll take you to lunch. Bye-bye lunch. Finally, I'm leaving.
Ibrahim.
Yes, because by the way, with a Turkish passport, you cannot stay by that time more than 28 days. I have to leave. Like otherwise, they're gonna come and find me. And then I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. And then he takes me to lunch and he says, look, I think this is an amazing idea. And look, you already made friends and things like that. Would you like to do this in Dubai? I think this is a great idea. And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, you know, I have the...
What is a great idea? What you're doing in Turkey?
No, like what I'm going to open.
Okay.
That I'm going to bring people together and we're going to share these and that. And there's going to be some yoga, meditation, Pilates, and bar, if I can get a certification by that time, of course, classes. And, you know, I'll make a little bit bread and cake and, you know, it's going to work a little bit. This was the business plan. This is going to work a little bit. And then he says, look, this is an amazing idea. I believe in Dubai and I believe in you. If you want to open this year, I'll help you.
Wow.
And I'm like, help is in.
Similar stories.
Yeah, when I was listening to him, I mean, I'm not, you're so funny, and I think yours sounded amazing. So I hope mine is also still interesting to you. Because after you, I'm like, you know, supporting act. And then, yeah, and I'm like, you know, I have the capacity to say yes to this. Then I'm, by the way, remembering my wish, the candle, the priest. That moment is happening like in the movies. And then he's like, yeah, go think about it and just give me a call. I said, okay. And I went back. I asked everyone in my life, you know, normally people, I mean, in my country, normally people scares you. Are you crazy? How are you gonna do this? You're one girl, you're single, you're gonna get married. All this conversation. Everyone I ask says, you can do this. And I'm like, I wasn't even ready to hear it, I think. I'm like, I can't do this? You can do this. You can do this. I'm like, I can do this? Okay. And then one day, oh, by the way, Ibrahim is calling. Time is passing. I have to decide something because my unemployment is became more than a year now. Oh my God, like we celebrate it, like festivals, we will celebrate it soon, I mean. And then one day I said, okay, I have to make a decision today. It was late November, cold, raining, Monday. I said, I'll go for a walk in Bosphorus. and I'll come back with an answer. Istanbul or Dubai? And I'm walking, of course, there is no one in that rain and November and Monday lunchtime in Bosphorus. I'm like walking like this, I'm saying, okay, God, you have to give me a sign. But it has to be a sign that I don't miss, like big enough so I see it. And I'm literally talking about it. I have to see a sign, please, today. I can't live with this confusion, please. And there's this one guy fishing. He turns, and he's wearing a Dubai written sweatshirt. And I mean, you know, it's not New York, it's not London, it's not Las Vegas, it's not San Francisco. I'm like, Dubai. And I'm like, oh my God, that's my sign. And then he looks at me, I'm like, oh no, I didn't want to scare you. It's just, that's my sign. And then I call Ibrahim, I'm like, okay, listen, I'm coming. And then I couldn't go. I realized that when you leave with a Turkish passport, you can't go back in 30 days. Anyways, we Skyped. By that time, we had Skype. And then and I asked him, what is your plan? He said, look, I can put this much money. And then I said, look, I have only this much money because I'm going to sell my car, like the last thing I have. And then we'll see what the life is going to bring. And then from that moment on, till we open, everything went right. I just kept meeting the right people who says, I know someone in Dubai, just call, this is the contractor. I know someone in Dubai, but this is all happening from Istanbul because I am not able to stay more than 28 days, and when I leave, I have to stay 1 month away with tourist visa. So I'm coming 1 month, going to all of the places, seeing what people is doing because I've never lived here, trying to understand the city and making meetings, and then go back and then sit on Google, you know, work like that. And then one day we found on Dubai, the villa that we are in Jumeirah 1. And that was the only villa which didn't have a photo. And the size was too big. I said, this is not possible. Like, there is something wrong. And then when we were driving through it, we just realized, oh, it's just behind this, I think. It was saying Megrodis, here's Megrodis. We just walked in, and when I turned from the villa, when I saw the huge garden, I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. We have to have a garden because there's nothing green in this city. And I miss green a lot. So I was already in that 1 month saying, can we go to a little like grass, tree? You know, like, and then I said, okay, we're gonna have a big garden, and then we met the landlord, and he was very friendly. We found a contractor, and then I had a huge folder of how I want inside photos. I gave it to the guy, and then he understood, and then I went back to Turkey. I found this wood. I was looking for some antique looking, but you know, old people get rid of their old wood shelves and furniture. And I said, I was looking for those, and then in one of the places there were these railroad slippers from Anatolia. And I just looked at them and I said, how much are these? And then he said something funny, like 30 dirhams now. One of them, but it's like 160 kilo real Anatolian railroad slipper. And I was like, I called the contractor and I'm like, do you think we can ship these? And then he's like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we can find a way. I'm like, because if we ship these, if we can do this and do that, and pergolas and tables, you know, real wood, they have the cheese still in it, and people will feel, you know, comfortable, and they will feel home. And then I realized a lot of things are cheaper in Turkey. And then we did basically all the shopping in Turkey, and I sent 3 containers of things, including like the stones on the floor. And then those containers was supposed to come on 12th of October. I flew in 11th of October. Only the inside of the villa was clean, let's say, not finished, because toilets weren't working. So you asked for a door on your opening night. I asked for a toilet, and we didn't have. We didn't have a toilet. And then, so I checked astrologically which is the best night to have an opening party, 24th of October. I'm like, okay, 24th of October, we have to have the opening party. And the contractor says it's impossible. I'm like, there is nothing impossible. You know what I've been through? It is impossible. And then, so long story short, it didn't come because apparently someone sent a gun to Dubai, so they stopped the customs, opened all the containers. Those containers arrived weeks later, the night before my opening, 23rd of October. 23rd of October, 7 p.m., 3 containers came to the car park of McGrody's in front of Life in One. And my mom, her couple of best friends, my best friends, and construction company. We all carried everything all night to at least to have something for people to sit, because it's a construction area. And I'm 100% sure that everything will be fine in the morning. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a miracle. Miracles, I believe in them, but construction miracles are not happening. Yeah, I mean, I woke up and I went back because they sent me to sleep. They said, look, there should be one person at least energetic. At least go have shower, you know, like come back again. I went 4:30 a.m. to the place that I'm staying. And at 7 a.m. I was like this, I have to go and check what they did in 2.5 hours. Of course, they couldn't do much. But, you know, I walked in, and when I find the place the same, I said, okay, now, patience, you know, inhale, exhale, there's nothing to do. Light the candles. I mean, you have to make this beautiful. So, you know, buying flowers, lighting candles, and just putting things around, and people started to come. We worked with a couple of influencers by that time that I found through social media, thank God. And then people came, but of course they came, but they couldn't see anything because there is an empty villa with nothing. And then, but there was good food. They ate the food, we chat, they left. And then the next day, the construction again. And then this took 1 more month. And then 1 month later, construction finished. I mean, there was little bits of things. We call it finished in Dubai, I'm sure you all know. Because if you wait for that little things to finish, it takes a year. Like, so roughly there was a toilet, water, you know, things finished. And then, and then I realized I don't have a business plan and I don't have an employee. I have no plan. I'm in a villa in Dubai by myself, with no friends, no family, nothing, and basically no pocket money anymore. And I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, I just stood in the middle of the garden.
Did you ask that yourself, or Ibrahim asked you?
Ibrahim had such a faith in me, by the way. When I asked myself, he realized. And he is a business guy. And I just looked at him, I'm like, so we expect me to do everything, basically? Because I can cook, because I can teach, because I can talk. And I don't know if you've been to Life One. Life One is big. It's not like a one-room place. Like, there's this huge garden, and then the villa, and then the entrance, and like, and yeah, and there I had a little bit of a nervous breakdown, a little bit. And then I said, okay, now you're in it. There is nothing to do. You have to make this work. And then, again, we started everything I know. And then I said, okay, God, you have to send me the right people. And then people started to walk in, like literally. People were walking in saying, something just drag me to here. What is this place? And I'm like, voila, this place is this, but it's at the moment it's not seeing like that because there's no business, but there should be. And, and I don't know what to do with this huge place, and I'm going mental. And then I'm like, the first coach started like that. She's saying, look, I don't want to coach at home anymore. And I live very close by. Why don't I bring my customers here? And you give me this and that. I'm like, okay. Then I hired a receptionist. Okay. And then I was only gonna do juices and smoothies in the plan. But people started to come to the garden and when there was nothing and just sitting because I realized people want garden. And then I'm eating something, like that's my food. And then I share, but you know, like it's not like we're sharing and we forgot the other table. They're like, what are you eating? I'm like, this is a gluten-free bread I made at night. And they're like, can I have? Then I started to give that and then someone said, why don't you charge? I'm like, I'm gonna charge for this bread that I made at night for myself. I'm like, okay, 15 dirhams, like bread. Like, and then one day people started to ask, yeah, do you have omelette? Because this is amazing for garden. I'm like, I'm plant-based, but we can do this maybe. Then a friend of mine came. She had another friend who wants to cook outside. Okay, she started to come and cook in the morning, some dishes, and I started to give. And then another yoga teacher came. She said, look, I don't want to teach at home anymore. Can I just take my classes here? Okay, take it. By the way, but still by the time, no accounting system, Excel. And of course I forget. So first year, oh my God. Yeah, God bless you. I know that look. I know that look. I have no one to say God bless you, but my first accountant, I think, doesn't like me still. I'm sure. Yeah, okay. And then, so it started a little bit like that. And then it took me so much to own it, because it was so hard for my emotional self. Because there was always some drama going on, and I'm always in the middle of it, and I have no answers. Like, they come from government, and everything is in Arabic, first of all. I'm like, I mean, I have these papers, and I try to do everything legal. Can you check yourself, please? You know, like, or like taking photos and asking people and asking customers sometimes. I didn't need to have shower. Can you sit in the reception? Okay, and I was putting people to reception, running after, like, upstairs, having shower and coming back. And by this time, when these are happening, by the way, I didn't have a house or a flat because I couldn't afford it. So I was living in Life in One, but because it's illegal, now I can say it, I couldn't say it to anyone. So I was waking up at 5 before anyone comes, acting like this crazy lady who, you know, wakes up and opens the plates with, you know, sunrise. And then acting like, again, the workaholic person who closes the place and keeps working and sleeping on the floor. And you know, putting my clothes in the dressing room, and so no one understands. And then one day, the contractor came to see me, the first contractor. He said, look, Eda, I have a daughter and I can't see you like this anymore. I'm like, we're gonna make this, I just need some help, maybe some massage also, like, yeah, someone help me. He said, I can just make you a little gypsum house in the back of the villa. They don't have to know, no one will see. If just they come for inspection, you have to act like it's storage. I'm like, okay, so at least you have a little bedroom and a bathroom. And I'm like, oh, that sounds amazing. I don't know what gypsum is, I'm sure it's better than tent. And then he did, and because I couldn't buy a bed again, he also made a bed from wood, again, matching Life in One, by the way. I didn't show it to anyone, but it was matching. And then a friend of mine who moved to Dubai during this time, he bought me a mattress as a gift. So I had a bed. And then and I painted outside of it, so it was looking like a wall to everyone, but inside was a secret house. So I lived there a year, and a year later, Ibrahim came and he said he wants to be out of the business. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? He said, I don't think the spiritual business is for me. And then he said, I basically don't believe in it. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm like, I didn't know that you invest and you 1 later come and say, I don't believe in it anymore. But we didn't have a written agreement. I mean, there are good side of it and bad sides of it. Like, good side is, yeah, he believed in me so much, he gave his money without a paper. But also, he asked for it back, and I didn't have any paper to say, you can't ask it back. So that was, again, another earthquake for me. You only grow, and all
How much
pain
was
passes.
the amount? Was it a very big amount?
It was more than $200,000, and I'm still paying him, by the way. No, it's not like I found it. That much I couldn't find, but I'm still manifesting. So, and for a couple of months, I was quite upset because, yes, he wasn't doing anything for the business, but knowing that you at least know one person, you know, was a little bit of support. And then I'm like, okay, I'm completely alone in another country now. Like, okay. And then I sat with him and I said, look, this is the numbers, you know the business, and I have no place to take money in life. I'll give you a payment plan. I'll pay you like a salary and this much time, and in time, whatever extra happens, if we get, you know, investment, shareholding, whatever, I'll pay you more. Shake hands. Thank God he accepted. He left. I mean, in the end, I'm grateful. Without him, it wouldn't be here. And then I have a couple of more funny stories. One day they said, okay, your cafe is amazing, your kitchen is too small. Let's make your kitchen bigger.
Who said?
One of the chefs, that not chef, that cooks by that time. Cooks, like, who knows how to hold a knife? I was only able to afford that, and we were doing the menu together. And then And they said we have to, have a bigger kitchen because it's impossible to work like that. Then I brought a contractor, and then I said, okay, but I can't. Like, it's impossible for me to do anything. And then and then a bank called. They said, do you want a loan? And then I'm like, oh, I have this kitchen idea, just popped up yesterday, and today you called. Should I take this as a sign or a trap? I'm like, I'm not sure, but I'll take it as a sign, and we'll see what's gonna happen. And then that was a trap. Just saying. Yeah, I got the money. I found the kitchen company. I found the contractor. We've signed the agreements and everything. I'm like, okay. And then they started, and then I couldn't reach the contractor one day. And then I heard that everyone has a story like that. By that time, I didn't know. I said, I can't reach the contractor. Someone said, oh, he escaped most probably. I'm like, what? Like, what? And then I realized he literally escaped without finishing it. No phone, nothing. His office is not there.
He took your money and went?
Yeah, I mean, he did some stuff, but not the full stuff. And I'm like, okay, but that's like the loan money, and it's not even my money, and I don't know what to do now. And by the way, I'm crying every day, half day, yeah? Like, it's not happening like that. Now I burned a couple of sockets, so I laugh now. And then, and then another contractor comes. He says, don't worry, don't worry. And there's this personality also in Dubai you may meet. Don't worry, I can do everything. They do nothing. And of course, I so want to hear that, don't worry, I'll do it for you. Oh, yes, thank you very much. Like he's speaking to me. I'm like, yes, please. And then that also turns into another drama because apparently he lost his license and da. So it doesn't happen. I find a carpenter in the end, in Satva. I'm like, listen, I really need help, and I'm sure you have a daughter. You're coming with me. And I'm like, because I'm like, okay, I need to fix it because I'm gonna go. I can't do this again one more time. And then we fix it. And then I realized the reason why we are working with contractors and these companies is because they have to get me some permits and licenses, right? So when these guys leave, you don't have any permits. And then I learned that there is no way that carpenter or me get any permit without a government-approved consultant or a contractor. These things, by the way, not my skill set, but I know everything about land department, building department, health and food safety, everything, seriously. And then, and then one day, someone comes in when these are happening, and they say, are you sure you can enlarge this kitchen this way in Jumeirah 1? I'm like, what does that mean? Because your contractors escaped. Maybe you should have checked. Did they do this right? And I'm like, that's true. And then I check, and you can't. You cannot enlarge anything in Jumeirah 1. I mean, even Jumeirah Center is not able to enlarge it. And then I'm like, so what happens now? So that part is garbage. And I'm like, no. We have to find a way. We have to find a way. So I find consultants, by the way, starting from 30 to 60,000 dirham. And I just cry to them saying, can I give you postpaid checks for the next 2 years? Like, I give you free yoga classes forever. And then, I'll just help you to get enlightened, and the whole world is relieved through that journey, And then, so long story short, we couldn't. And then one day I just learned fully surrendering. During this time, I've got all the healing sessions, the rest of the healing certifications, and went deep in, even in other countries, some psychedelic journeys, because I realized that I really have to surrender. And then one day I said, okay, we are breaking the kitchen. If it's money, we'll learn to make it again. At least it's money. It's not a kidney. It's not a liver. It's not someone's life. We broke the kitchen. We went back to our old kitchen in a more professional way, at least. And we have a small kitchen at the moment, and we are happy in it. We learned to love it. Those guys, I couldn't find them again. I didn't even hear from them.
How big is
God
V
bless
now?
them.
How big is V now?
How big it?
How big is V? How many people are you now?
At the moment, in the kitchen, I have 7 people.
Wow.
In reception, 2 people. Me. Thank you. I have Shadi. Shadi got sent. He's my partner, but without him, I wouldn't be here because I needed a shoulder to cry every day, every day. And I'm really questioning like what he liked in me during that time because I was this drama, whiny girl crying every day, and he still stayed. So I try not to cry to him anymore, so he can see the best of me a little bit. And then, so yeah, fully surrendering. And this week, we are going to be open 4 years in October.
Wow.
This week, I'm going to get a completion certificate this week. I still don't have it.
We got ours 2 months ago.
Yeah. So it took so long to fix everything. So my completion certificate is coming this week. So finally, I can sleep maybe a night fully when I see the paper. So yeah.
You're finally legal.
Yes. And you don't know the feeling of that really. Because I mean, inspection walked in one day. This Mohammed Nabil guy, maybe you know, I don't know, because there's apparently 3 guys walking around halls to Dubai. Now, I took him to a room. I'm like, we have to talk. And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, you have to come with me. And I'm like, I start crying like it's Japanese cartoons. Please help me. Please help me. You have to help me. Look, I didn't do this. And I had this big blue folder because I said, okay, I have to be able to prove that I didn't do this because everyone thinks in the government, why did you do this? That's the first question. I'm like, listen, I really didn't know. And you can see from the dates, the papers, agreements, WhatsApp messages that I really didn't know. So that folder helped me to get a lot of time in land department. So I go with my folder to the manager. Hello, I'm back again. And they're like, they know me now. They're like, oh, hi. I'm like, can I have 2 more months? Look, but I work during this time. I'm like, it's just Dubai is slow process. You know, like, can you just help me a little bit? So yeah, so we came today. God bless. We've learned. So, but if they told me that things will be like that, of course, I would never, ever, ever, ever open a business in UAE. So now I'm just thinking that universe has another plan, took me from my hair, left me in UAE, said, you're gonna do this, and then the rest is gonna taken care of. Now when I'm dealing with these papers, wallahi, the rest is kind of taken care of in the center. Yeah.
Wow. What an amazing journey you've had.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot. I learned to not to be upset to these situations, first of all. That's the first thing. Yeah, after, I think I also done with my crying in the Met till my next Saturn transit, which is around 42. So I think, yeah, for this season of my life, I'm done with crying.
But crying is good, right?
Yeah, crying is a resistance release, basically.
What is a typical day
For me,
look like at the center?
in the center. We start with a 5 a.m. class, which is a...
They all stay there?
Huh?
They all live there? No, they
No,
don't.
no one lives there anymore. We broke that house. I moved out finally. And we made a small tent there, which is like an open office. Sometimes we all work there when the weather is nice. I mean, I open at the moment 4:30 as it's so hot. I have to put the ACs on. But yeah, 4:30 I open. And the first class starts at 5. It's a sadhana, which is based on Kundalini Yoga. And it takes 2.5 hours. So we start the day with that. And then when we finish, the reception 7:30 opens. And then kitchen starts serving at 8:30, so we are early risers. And then people start to come. We have a regular yoga meditation schedule, like a normal yoga studio. And plus, like a healing center, we have in-house therapists, like from coaching to theta healing to family constellation. We do a lot of sessions. And we have a cafe, whole day open, which is plant-based, which is vegan. And we have a shop, I call it Conscious Shop. We only work with small businesses and female entrepreneurs from all around the world. And most of the money goes to charities. Like, for example, we're carrying brands like Our Sacred Women. When you buy something from them, they have just pins and t-shirts. 10% goes to mothers with MS, 20% goes to sexual abuse victims. So all the brands we carry, something goes somewhere. And then, and at the same time, we bring some international visitors monthly. They do their own, they bring their own methods, sometimes certification programs or short workshops, sessions again. So, you know, people comes and goes.
What time do you close?
Cafe closes at 6:30, 7 p.m. We don't do dinner service. Center closes when the last thing finish. If we have a talk which starts at 8:30, maybe 10:30, 11. The meditations finish at 9, 9:30. Sometimes there's a lot of people who works and they can only do a session after work. That sometimes starts 8, 8:30, and if it's a 2-hour session, again, like 10:30, 11 sometimes.
One last question.
Yeah.
How do you come up with the name?
Name? I couldn't come up with any name. That's how I come up with the name. You know, like Junction, such a cool name. I'm not sure if Life in One is cool. So I said, okay, there should be an effect of life. But when I saw the Life pharmacies in Dubai, I said, okay, forget that. And then I said one, but when you say one, people don't understand oneness. And then I'm like, how am I going to put this Life and One together? I said, I can call this Life and One. And then when I was writing it, I wanted to put an apostrophe N because I wanted some people to read it however it comes to them. So a lot of people read it as Life in One, and I also like it. Sometimes people read it Life None. Then I'm like, maybe we meditate more with you a little bit more. So yeah, it gives me a message at least about them, yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you.
That is a very inspiring session, actually.
Thank you.
I had nothing to do. I just sat over here and listened.
But I think you like listening. You're a good listener. I think you can open one weekend, because someone was telling me that in Europe now they have like listening sections. People just sit and you put a board and you say, we are here to listen to you. And you're just not saying anything. They just come and complain about their life. And then I think if you want, we can give it a try. Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay.
So
I'm so excited. I always leave cards talking to me.
these are magic cards, by the way.
I'm
Every
sure.
time these cards
I'm sure.
does magic.
You will see.
But before you say it, I'd like to take reflections. What is it that you take away?
It's first amazing how identical stories between two guests.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Almost synergetic. Yeah.
Absolutely. Even the
It's like-
construction and also the
Yeah.
different people coming into his center and her center.
Yeah, and yours was in October, yours is in November, right? Almost.
We started
Opening.
the business in November though.
And it was almost 2009.
Yeah.
You were saying 2009 as well.
Mine is 2014.
2014
It's
you
been only
started.
4 years.
Okay.
15.
Ah, okay.
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 Yeah, but yeah.
After 3 years, huh? Nice.
And the whole thing, we can identify completely with the license. We were looking at each other. We just got a completion certificate 2 months ago.
But stay awake at night, you know, it keeps you awake.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
What could happen?
I know. One day,
We know Mr. Nabi.
once, yes, right?
Your journeys were different because you had a full-time job actually. That's the only difference, I think.
Yeah.
You know, that was the only difference where you were sunken completely into a project that you truly believed in.
Yeah.
Not that you weren't, but you had something else to bank on. And
they
you had your
also
parents here,
support
you had your
support.
family here, and you were completely alone over here. So it takes
Yeah,
a lot of courage.
that was a little crazy, but that helped business a lot because, you know, at 7, for example, people were leaving in 2015. Now I'm thinking about like the yoga students. 7 p.m. I'm like this, so now what to do? Everyone went home for their families. So every day I read a business book. I'm like, okay, from 7 to 10, every day I read a business book.
Which is
And-
the best business book you
Yeah.
ever read.
Like everything, like from classics to 7 Habits to Napoleon, you know, Hills to anything,
Think and Grow
entrepreneurship.
Rich.
Yeah, of course. I mean, all of them. And then I was writing them because it's a gypsum board,
Okay.
so easy to write on. I was writing them on the walls and just reading them, saying, okay, you have to make this, you have to brainwash yourself all the time. So that was my life. And if I didn't have that period, I think I wouldn't be able to run it now because I never had a business background. I studied international relations, politics, cooking, chef school, and then, you know, basically all my jobs were because I was a social person, they hired me to talk to people. Not that I had an amazing other skill set. I learned business in business. Someone brought like an accounting system saying one day, are you crazy? I'm sure you're losing money. Okay, okay. And then I learned like that. And someone said, okay, have a notebook and write it like this. And I learned everything like this. And then the books, money meditations, prosperity all the time. Please, please. Abundance, abundance.
What are you trying to manifest right now in your life?
Huh?
Right now, what are you trying to manifest the most?
At the moment, I'm manifesting to be completely debt-free. It's not on my shoulders anymore because at the moment, it's like shake hands version. I'm paying it monthly, but of course, I would like to fly freely. Yeah, that's my first manifestation. Thank you.
You will get there. More reflections. Any more reflections?
The debt is actually
Manifesting works.
going, because the moment you're debt free, you'll say, oh,
Yeah, you think so? I mean, there's so much to learn in life. When I think about now all the things that we bring to the center, I wish I had more time or energy or more sources because, there's a capacity. I can bring 10 workshops or 10 people in a month, but you have to sell them also. I mean, and you have to find the right target client, and people has to be satisfied. So I do a lot of research when I'm bringing something. If I haven't tried it anywhere in the world, I try not to bring it. And I have to have like references and testimonials, but there's amazing things going on in the world at the moment. So I believe if I can fly more freely, we can have more playground. Yeah.
Lovely.
Huh?
I stay next to your.
Yeah?
Come in the evening, but dinner is never there. So sometimes I want dinner, and I'm like.
Yes, what I can do is I can prepare your dinner and you can pick it up from the reception at 7. Because for me to open to dinner, I tell the truth, I have to hire 4 more people. And I think we can save the cost for now. Yeah. Yeah. I always say, like after 2019, I want to see 2020. And then maybe, why not?
The garden and the
Yeah,
patio is
beautiful.
Beautiful to sit there and have dinner.
We do events as a dinner. Like once a month, wellness dinner we do. You come by booking and there's someone talks. I can invite you to that.
So do you have business cards today that you could share with people? Do you
Not
have?
this much, but Shadi told me to take because I have a business card and I never take it from home.
So please
So-
share it. Please take it.
I have 5.
I'll take one.
Yes, please. Recycled paper.
What is this?
That's Aleph. People think it's a 1, but it's a Aleph because we are in Arabian Gulf. I wanted to reflect something in Arabic, and plus for me Aleph means infinity, and everything starts with an Aleph. The alphabet starts with an Aleph. So for me it means
powerful, yeah.
way bigger than
Paulo Coelho has a book also.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So yes, I mean.
Yep.
You choose. You choose who
Any
to
more
give the
reflections
other
before
three.
she yes, go ahead.
I want
Not the mic.
Maybe Shadi
Yes,
has
we'd
some
like to share.
cards.
It seems, listening to your story, it seems like you have a good sense of humor as well.
You have to. No?
You have to.
guys
I
are-
think that's one of the things that,
I told
listening
you
to
we
you.
burned a couple of sockets.
Yeah, but you kind of have to laugh through
Yeah,
it
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Because if you're, even though
It
you
was
are
very
crying.
dramatic when I wasn't laughing to them.
Yeah.
That's what I realized.
Yeah, I think having a good sense of humor about everything that's happening gets you through
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
which was what I reflected on listening to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Gautam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, me, sorry. What was my? Oh yes, yeah, I've got. Both of your stories helped me incredibly, and I'll tell you the funniest story. This week, my intention was to write my business case for a new plan that I have. I kept delaying and delaying and delaying, and things came up and da. Thursday, wake up. Today, I'm going to write my business plan. You know what I was doing before I came? Writing my business plan. And then I looked and I was like, oh my God, I have to go. If I'm not going to go, I'm going to miss it. Shut the laptop, came. Thank you to both of you. I'm going to go back and I'm going to scrap the business plan. I'm going to be like, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I believe it. I'm getting goosebumps now. I know it's going to work. So I don't need a business plan.
But make the budgeting.
The budget I have.
If you guys,
Don't scrap the finance.
yeah,
Financing, Uncle. Financing is the number.
if you guys are gonna learn one thing tonight,
Finance.
budgeting.
Yes.
Budgeting. Yeah. Yes.
But without the business plan,
Yeah.
you know what you want to do,
Yeah.
right? And when
Yes.
you know what you want
You have
to do,
to follow your
everything
heart
else
for
will
sure.
go exactly. And if it's
Yeah.
not going to go perfectly, that's what I learned from you today.
None of
You
the
it doesn't
businesses
have
is
to be
perfect.
perfect. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
And then everything will work out.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, you've learned a lesson and you're supposed to go another way. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. I'll go with that. But I'm like, thank God I don't have to finish this business
You didn't learn that
plan.
from me all this time?
No.
You don't have to be
Because
perfect.
today I was like, this business plan is on my mind. And I was like, now I don't have
And
to
it's
get
so
back to
boring
it.
to write a
Oh,
business plan.
It's like I have
a-
to write my dream on paper. Are you kidding me?
I like to
No.
follow your plan, follow your heart as long as it's within the budget.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Don't forget to take your brain with you when you're following your heart. Yeah.
It comes. It comes. So thank you to both of you. You helped me incredibly by just giving me an easy weekend.
Yes.
Tashakkuran.
Teşekkürler.
It was amazing. You remind us all that we have to thank God for the blessing that we have a place to stay in.
Oh, yeah.
Really. Sometimes we are complaining, I don't have enough money, I don't have, but you have a place you can stay, sleep.
Yes.
So thank you so much,
Thank you.
and thank you for you have a huge spirit and very positive energy and natural. You are who you are. You don't
Thank you.
pretend to be someone else.
Thank you.
so
Thank-
much.
Can I say something about how I moved out, by the way? I'm living in my fully written wall gypsum house. And then one day I really miss my family and I'm not bringing them here because I don't want them to see the life that I'm having. And you know how the mothers are. So I'm just saying, I'm just too busy. You just keep praying for me. And then one day I said, okay, I have to go because I have to charge my batteries. And yeah, it was like more than 20 months that I haven't seen them. And then I asked my brother to buy me a ticket. And then he got me a ticket. I flew, and then I came back. Turkish airline flights comes like 2 a.m. And 3 a.m., I unlocked the door, and I found 1 million ants. Like a Stephen King novel, covered, like piles. For example, there is a shoe, a pile, like this, everywhere. I couldn't even scream. I was like, okay.
They pushed you out of the room.
It was like impossible happened. And you don't know, like, am I gonna take them out? Like, you can't kill them, you can't show them because they told me years ago that you have to show another way to ants. And then they walk like 1 million ants, like, where are we gonna walk all together? I have them. I called my receptionist by that time. They were living very close by with the husband. They came and I said, you tell me. I looked at it, I'm like, what do we do? And then, yeah, we had to kill them. I don't like killing anything, but I mean, you know. So sprays and things. Then everything died and they stayed again as a pile. And I said, okay, I'm leaving this place because I don't think I can do this at the moment. And I left and I checked my phone and I realized I'm a workaholic, so I couldn't make much friends. So I don't have anyone to call and go and sleep on their sofa. And then, of course, also being broke doesn't help to make friends because people think you have this business in Jumeirah. You know, you're just a snob. You didn't go to that birthday. They don't know what's going on. So I said, okay, I'm just a snob. I'll just, you know, take this in. So I'm sitting in Costa, checking my phone book, saying, who would give me a sofa tonight? It's 4 a.m. now. And then I found one customer friend. I called her. I went to her house. Thank God. And then the next morning, I have to go back and clean. But I'm like, I can't live there anymore. But I don't know, like, I'm still not making enough money to pay like 3-6 months in advance rent. I have to make it and pay it. You know, like, there should be like a trade. And then we were just driving around Life and One. I saw one building. And in Jumeirah, it's all villas. You don't get like 1 bedrooms or studios. There was one building saying to let. And I walked in. It was a 1 bedroom, affordable, and one street away. So I don't need a car, anything. And I'm like, okay. Then I went to the guy, and I said this loudly, I'm like, I don't have the money, but I think it's time for me to learn to make the rent and focus on this. And then I just convinced him to pay a little bit later. And then I learned to make the rent. And I realized even living in the center may become a comfort zone to yourself. Because instead of paying myself, I was always thinking that, no, maybe I shouldn't pay myself this month. I'm living inside anyways. I use this for this. I use this for that. But then you start giving from your own energy to the center, and then it's like you're not taking care of yourself. And then it's like there's so much to learn when you start a business, like including self-love and space and things like that also. So that's how I moved out. But then thanks to the ants.
Maybe that's a sign for you to move out. You know?
Yeah, I got it like that. And people said it's a lot of good energy, the ants, in a lot of different cultures.
So,
Mr. 96. Yes,
Mrs. 97.
Her story at the other show.
Absolutely. No, what I took away from you today is your resilience, and I think that was key for me. What I saw throughout your journey, your story today, was a story of resilience, of not giving up, and that's inspiring.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
There was some kind of a total surrender at certain levels.
Yeah.
To trust the signs that the universe was actually,
Yeah.
Whether it's a Dubai T-shirt or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or even that.
That was classic.
Yeah.
Dubai T-shirt.
Dubai, oh my God.
Yeah.
Sometimes the message is through people.
Yeah.
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 Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll read my card to you now. Number 5. A business must first focus on getting better before it can focus on getting bigger. So after completion certificate, we should talk about bigger. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any fine from Dubai municipality?
Of course. Oh. But what I did is, I learned by crying, you can't stop a fine. But you can get a discount and an installment. Yeah. I got a fine because of the kitchen. You enlarged the kitchen without asking us. And that guy that I cried in the room, he said, look, in the system, they know I'm going to come in. He showed me the iPad. I have to
Maybe there's a business
write
opportunity
something.
for you. Maybe you can go and cry for other people's projects.
Exactly.
Because Arjun crying did not help us. We got the fine and the
There should be a woman crying. And your wives can do that very
Insurance lender.
so many
exactly. And also diva, because once apparently we had a leakage, and of course we didn't know because leakage is under the villa, and our diva bill came 60,000 dirhams. 60.
Wow.
And then I think that was a heart attack moment. I just don't know how I survived. Something happened to me. And I just stood like that. And then I just started crying again. And then I went to Diva. Just with that panic, I just took the paper, went to Diva, the big one on Sheikh Zayed, by crying. Where's the manager? And then of course they panicked so much. They took me to the manager and I'm like, I don't have it. And then we called my landlord, they checked and they realized that it's not Diva's, it's not land, like I have to pay it. But then they give me a 12 months installment. So that day I learned that at least you can always find a way out. I mean.
What was your normal bill and what was when you said
Seasonally, it's changed of course. I mean in winter 3,000-4,000.
From there it went to 60.
Because of the water leakage under the villa. Then we changed the pipes again. Thanks to the first contractor which escaped. Ayat, his name. If you meet him.
Give me your regards, sir.
Aman. Vallahi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
You've been
very
wonderful.
much. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. It is-
Samir, what about having an awesome walker session? You already have an offer from him and maybe she, like some special awesome walker session at there.
At the venues?
Yes, please. By all means, I would love to. I would love to. I mean,
They'll give it to you free.
of course.
So much pressure.
Straight up. I'm covering my finance guy. Because I'm hiding the scowl on his face. But all right.
Now, easily we can do one in the garden, in the tent, or in the room, wherever you like. I
All
think
right.
the tent can be very
We have
Yes,
only one
yes.
theater.
Huh?
So it's one setting.
Lovely.
But it's 160 seats. So more than happy.
So we'll do some big
Absolutely.
event or
No,
something.
seriously.
He
Yeah.
has one of his wish lists is to have Sheikh Mohammed come and attend, and maybe that time we do it in there.
Yeah.
Wallahi, Sheikh Mohammed then comes to everywhere. Nice. I like it.
We've not had Sheikh Mohammed, we've had the Prince of Abu Dhabi come.
Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikh Mohammed is on my bucket list. But yes.
Fantastic. And they're fantastic people. So.
Yes, they are.
sure
That's
they'll
why. Inshallah.
Be a special awesome.
That is what I'm manifesting out
Okay,
into
nice.
this.
Nice.
So there's this church in Istanbul that you go 3 Saturdays.
Yes.
Can you send me the pin location for that?
Of course, but I don't know the name. But it's very easy to go. It's on the European side. No, not Hagia Sophia. It's a working church for Orthodox. Yeah, it's an Orthodox church. You go to, Saturdays 12 p.m. Yeah.
Super.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you.